Why do you think pain and suffering exist?
I think because humans inherently aren't perfect and have faults, and sometimes those faults are going to cause pain and suffering. So human nature.
So, if God exists, how can suffering exist if God is good? Or do you believe that God is good?
So I have some philosophy knowledge from a project that I did. Actually, the philosopher Leibniz, who also kind of invented calculus, his idea was that it's called Leibnizian optimism, where he said this is the best possible world that God could have created. So since God is good, this is the world that he created, he must have known that this was the best of all possible options to create.
So first of all, I definitely agree with what you said. I wanted to say, I also think, remember how I said earlier humans are inherently faulty? In the Bible it says like humans are created in God's image, and if humans are inherently faulty, that can mean that, maybe God isn't perfect and makes mistakes just like regular people. So
Why do you think God would allow suffering?
Because it's the best of all possible options. Like, it could be infinitely worse. Like, we don't even know. But in this world, even though like things aren't great all the time, it's like just going to happen. First of all, because life lessons, and sometimes it helps make people better than they are or better than they started to be. But also just because like if this is the best possible option, then there are so many worse things that could be out there that the suffering and pain that we know might be a mercy, according to Leibnizian optimism. Don't take that out of context.
What do you mean by that?
Like, just don't cut that clip without without context.
Okay, so you think that it is still possible that a good God could preside over this, or no?
I think yes, but I think that some people are just never gonna want to accept that.
You think that a good God or a good higher power can allow such pain and suffering in the world, or do you think that's kind of contradictory to his nature?
I think it is contradictory to his nature because we're supposed to love everybody regardless of our background or our political beliefs or how much money we all make. We're supposed to love people, and I don't think he wants us to be shooting each other up for like political causes. And most of the veterans fought for political causes. But regardless of what it was, we shouldn't be killing each other in the thousands or the hundreds of thousands. It's not, he doesn't want that. That's the human, we caused that as humans. God didn't have anything to do with that.
I think personally that it's a little bit contradictory. I understand that for a higher being to show himself through being a good God, you have to be put through suffering before you can be rescued out of that. But I think sometimes can be really hard and sometimes push people away from their worldview or believing in a higher power because of all of the suffering that you have to go through to be rescued out of, if that makes sense.
Do you think a good God would allow all the pain and suffering that's going on in this world?
God wouldn't have put you through that if he didn't want anything better for you. God would never put you through pain and suffering on purpose. There's always a reason why you're going through it, and it's going to build you up even better and make you a better person. So I wouldn't believe God would do anything like that on purpose, especially if you're a religious person, you believe in God, God wouldn't do that. And I truly believe God wouldn't do that to any human being, and I stand on it.